Hello everyone, my name is Jack and this is Homebrew Heroes, where I share with you all some homebrew content for the game Dungeons & Dragons. Today I'll be going over the September update for the Final Fantasy XIV companion book for 5th edition D&D. Created by Reddit user SilentSoren, this is a massive project that— Wait, what do you mean it got updated again? Shut. I just keep drinking and I don't know why. So, I was going to do an update video on the previous 10 classes that I've covered, but there was a large number of changes that were made between the September version and the new released December version. The Dark Knight and the Dragoon got revamped into bigger killing machines, the Arcanists could perform more tactical maneuvers with their companions, and beefy cat people were finally added into this realm reborn. It would be very difficult and very time consuming to compare at least 3 different versions of these player classes, so I'm just going to leave those 10 classes that I've covered as they are, and the remaining classes and subclasses will be from the December 5th update. The Dancer video is the only exception, as it was based on the September update, but since there were no major changes made to it in the latest patch, I'll just let it slide and have it join the December crew. If you want to see all 3 versions of this guide for yourself and see which version of these classes you prefer, the links to them and to my Final Fantasy XIV video playlist can be found in the description below. With all that out of the way, let's talk about the warrior. In Final Fantasy XIV, warriors are tanks. The hunky units of muscle that can take a lot of damage and dish them right back out.
And that's when you get to throw a fucking mountain on the guy. You're safe.
But in D&D, warriors are fearless fighters from distant lands and tribes, and they can enter a berserk state where rage takes over, giving them superhuman strength and resilience. Oops, I'm sorry. That was from the Barbarian class. So yes, the Barbarian and the Warrior classes are quite similar to each other, as they were both made to dominate the field and destroy everything in their way. But they have their differences too, besides of all the clanging. Unlike their counterpart, warriors learn how to control their rage, or in their case, the inner beast that's within them. It will unleash it to perform precise attacks and maneuvers. If you want to play as a different type of barbarian, then you might want to take a look at the warrior.
I'm training to be the warrior of darkness.
Let's start with the basics. For the class features, you'll get a D12 for hit dice, which is the same hit dice as the barbarians and just the barbarians. You'll get proficiencies in all types of armor, simple weapons, and martial weapons. You won't get any tool proficiencies. The saving throws you're proficient in is in strength and in constitution, and you'll get to obtain 2 skills from a list of 6 skills. You'll get to pick your fighting style right at level 1. You'll get to choose 1 out of 4 combat styles: defense, dueling, great weapon fighting, and 2 weapon fighting. The first feature is your Berserk. On your turn, you can unleash your inner beast and enter Berserk mode. This sounds quite familiar. In order to go over this feature, I'll have to compare this with the Barbarian's Rage mode to see how these 2 temper tantrums differ. If the text is in yellow, that will indicate that there's a difference between the 2. First big difference. It's a bonus action to Rage, while it's a free action to Berserk. Secondly, warriors can wear heavy armor in this state, while the Barbarians cannot. They will both gain the same 3 benefits with their states, with a few slight changes here and there. Some of the other details are the same for both states, such as the 1-minute time length, being unable to cast spells, and the rules of how their states will end. The biggest difference is that the warrior cannot extra attack, or move up to their full movement speed after the berserk ends, for a number of rounds equal to 5 minus your constitution modifier. That is a big penalty. However, it can't be ignored if your constitution modifier is 5 or more. Overall, Rage and Berserk are quite similar to one another, with Berserk gaining more buffs and more flaws. You'll be able to wear heavy armor when you Berserk, and you can Berserk at any time, but you can potentially find yourself in a weakened state after your Berserk ends, so you gotta be careful. The next feature is Reckless Attack at level 2. Don't worry, I won't do a comparison here since it's the exact same one as the Barbarians. You can make a reckless attack as an action, granting yourself advantage on melee attack rolls. But all attack rolls made against you are made with advantage until your next turn. Instead of Danger Sense, you'll gain Beastly Demeanor at level 2. You'll gain a passive intimidation score, which you can use to replace any intimidation rolls that you'll eventually make. The score is equal to 10 plus your strength modifier. So if the strength modifier is 5, you can use a 15 on all intimidation checks. At level 3, you'll get to choose your warrior archetype, aka your subclass. Your choices are the Beast of Defiance, the Beast of Deliverance, and the Marauder. You'll gain their features at levels 3, 6, 10, and 14. The ability score improvement levels for the warrior is 4, 8, 12, 16, and 19, which can be used to increase your ability scores. At level 5, you'll get the classic extra attack feature. This lets you attack, or climb, twice whenever you take the attack action. At level 7, you'll gain Raw Intuition. After you receive a deadly blow, you can use your reaction to push yourself away from the attacker by 5 feet, and reduce the damage taken by 1d6. The number of uses and the number of d6s will increase as you level up. You also gain the Bellow of the Beast at level 7. Instead of using your inner beast to go berserk, you can use one use of it to gain advantage on intimidation checks, and you can double all bonuses to the intimidation skill. Now, as far as I can remember, the Barbarian's rage can only be used to, well, rage, so it's cool that the warrior can use theirs outside of combat. The next few features are entirely used for combat. Onslaught at level 9 lets you make a single melee attack as a bonus action when you use the dash action. This can help you maintain your berserk while you charge towards your next victim. The level 11 feature is called Revenge, and it's identical to the Berserker Barbarian's Retaliation feature. If a creature hits you with a melee attack, you can hit it back with a melee attack as a reaction. That's quite the handy ability.
Oh, call an ambulance! But not for me!
Then you'll shake it off. Whenever you are rolling a saving throw to prevent a condition, like grapples and stuns, you can end your berserk to automatically succeed on that roll. The next feature is Upheaval. This is a special maneuver that happens when you land a successful unarmed strike while you're berserking, in which you can declare Upheaval. The creature that you just punched must make a Constitution saving throw, and if it fails, the creature suffers a number of d12s equal to your Constitution modifier. So, if your Constitution modifier is 5, then you can deal 5d12 damage with this attack. Doing so will end your berserk, and probably that creature's life. At level 17, you'll gain some beastly reflexes and flexes. While you're berserking, you can now use 2 reactions per round instead of 1. This will pair up nicely with some of your other features, like Revenge and Raw Intuition. Then you'll gain HOLMGANG. Similar to how it works in Final Fantasy XIV, this move prevents you from falling below 1 hit point for a few turns, and letting you link up to a creature, preventing it from leaving your side. Your movement speed will be reduced to 0 feet, allowing you and your linked creature to stick together and fight it out for a number of rounds equal to half of your Constitution modifier. This can only be done once per rest, so I would save it until you're on the verge of collapse, or when an enemy boss tries to make their escape. The final feature is Infuriate at level 20. This is similar to the other capstone features from some of the other Final Fantasy classes, like the Dancer and the Black Mage. With this, you'll recover 2 uses of Berserk if you have no uses of it left when you roll for initiative. So, in the end, if you took a look at the Warrior and Barbarian classes, you'll see that they'll start on the same path as each other, but they'll go on to their own separate paths as they progress into higher levels. Barbarians dip into dealing out lots of damage at any given opportunity, while Warriors focus on special attacks that perform other functions, like slowing down creatures or weakening their attacks. Regardless, the Warrior class offers another way to play as the ripped and chiseled beefcake of any adventuring party. And also Clang.
How many times are we gonna do?
The first subclass is the Beast of Defiance. These kinds of warriors have tamed their inner beast and are able to use it at the right moments, in or out of combat. The first feature is called Disruption. If a creature targets an ally that's within 5 feet of you, you can impose disadvantage on the attack roll. The attack can be a melee or ranged attack, so it's a good way to protect your friends from long range attacks. At level 6, you'll gain the Storm's Path. Similar to Upheaval, this is a special move that you can declare after you hit a creature with a melee attack. The creature must make a strength saving throw, and if they fail, they'll deal 1d6 less damage on their attack damage rolls. It will last for a number of rounds equal to your strength modifier, and the damage reduction will increase from 1d6 to 2d6 at level 14. You can only perform this once during each use of Berserk. Then you'll gain the Voice of the Beast at level 10. These will grant you the Charm Monster and Beast Sense spells. You can cast these once per long rest, and Charisma will be your spellcasting ability for these spells. Charm Monster normally lets you attempt to charm a hostile creature into being your friend, but this version only allows you to charm beasts. Beasts and only beast. Beast Sense is a spell that connects you with a willing beast for 1 hour, allowing you to see and hear through the beast. The final feature is Inner Beast. This is a special action you can do once during each use of Berserk, and it will end the Berserk after performing it. Inner Beast is a melee attack that grants you hit points equal to 2d8 plus 6 upon contact. You'll also deal bonus damage to the target of the attack equal to the hit point roll. So if you rolled and recovered 10 hit points, you'll deal 10 bonus damage to the target. The Beast of Defiance is for those that want some support options for their warrior. Storm's Path and Disruption are good for protecting your allies from harm, and Inner Beast can help you dish out a little bit more damage. The spells you'll gain will only help those that deal with wild animals a lot, but by the time you learn them, beasts shouldn't really be a problem for your party at all, so you might not even really need them. The next subclass is the Beast of Deliverance. Warriors that have adopted this style let their inner beast take over at times of distress, granting them immense power and strength. The first feature is called Inner Release. While you're berserking, your weapon attacks now crit on a 19 or 20, and at level 14, the crit range will increase to 18, 19, and 20. It's similar to the Champion Fighter's superior critical feature, but you'll get this way sooner than level 15. At level 6, you'll gain the Storm's Eye. It's the exact same as the Beast of Defiance's Storm's Path move, but instead of causing the creature to reduce their damage rolls, they'll take in more damage from incoming attacks. The creature will suffer an additional 1d6 bonus damage from weapon attacks made against it for a few rounds, and the damage will increase from 1d6 to 2d6 at level 14. This is the perfect damage boost for your party to gain when they're up against a powerful boss or enemy. The level 10 feature is Wild Expertise. Your wild nature has granted you proficiency in one of 4 skills: acrobatics, athletics,
stealth,
and survival. When you choose a skill you're already proficient in, you'll double your skill of choice when you make ability checks using that skill. The final feature is Fell Cleave, and it functions the same as Inner Beast. Fell Cleave is a special attack option that increases the crit range from 18 to 20 to 15 and 20. You now have 6 chances to roll a critical hit. If the attack is successful, regardless if you crit or not, you'll deal your regular weapon damage plus a bonus 5d10 damage. Combine this with Storm's Eye, and you can deal some serious pain.
Now that's a lot of damage!
If the Beast of Defiance is about helping others, then the Beast of Deliverance is the pure opposite, hurting others. It's all about delivering the most amount of damage to your enemies. And if that's what you want your adventurer to grow up to be, then this type of beast is for you. The final subclass is the Marauder, and I hope I'm saying that right. Marauders are warriors that have walked away from their inner beast as their source of power. They've trained endlessly to compensate for these losses, becoming a new kind of beast in the process. The first feature is a nice bloodbath. While you're berserking, you'll recover 1d4 hit points every time you successfully smack someone. You can only recover hit points this way once per round, and the number of d4s will increase at levels 10 and 14. Then, you'll gain Maim at level 6. When you perform a reckless attack, you can declare to perform Maim. This will prevent enemies from gaining advantage on their attacks against you due to your reckless attack. You can only perform this once per berserk. At level 10, you'll gain Ruffian Diplomacy. Instead of scaring people away with intimidation, you can now use your newly proficient persuasion skills. When you interact with a creature for 1 minute, the DM will tell you how the creature will react to boasts of might or intimidation. If it's effective to the creature, you'll gain advantage on the appropriate check. This will save you from wasting a use of Berserk to gain advantage on intimidation with the Bellow of the Beast feature. The final feature is Overpower. While you're berserking, you can cast the spell Destructive Wave at 5th level. Your muscular strength will be the spellcasting ability for this spell. Destructive Wave is an AoE spell that unleashes a 30-foot wave of divine energy, dealing 5d6 thunder damage, an extra 5d6 radiant or necrotic damage, and the prone condition to everybody caught in the wave. Once you cast this, your berserk will end. The Marauder reminds me of the old Dark Knight's Ebony Champion subclass, which focused on being the last man standing on the battlefield. Both of these job classes offered some healing abilities, as well as some ways to protect yourself during combat, with features like Maim and Overpower. This is great for any lone wolf warriors out there that want to outlive, outlast, and out the competition. And with that, that was the warrior class of Final Fantasy XIV. Let me know in the comments your thoughts of this class down below, and check out some of my other Final Fantasy class guides, like for the Dark Knight and for the Dancer. Thanks for watching, everyone. Be sure to like and subscribe for more homebrew content and other things. Till next time, bye.